It's so true. I mean, when Goggins lived with me, his rule is we had to do something every day that sucked. That was his rule.
He's the master at that.
Yeah, tell me about it. And
what did he make you do?
Every day sucked. He didn't tell me that we're going to do that 5 times a day. That, you know. No, I mean, I remember one day, well, the first thing we did was he came and he wanted to see how many pull-ups I could do so he could map out the month. He lived with me for a month. And I went to the pull-up bar, and I got like maybe 8 pull-ups, which is an exaggeration. I probably got like 4 pull-ups. You know? A lot of people are listening, so I'll say 8. And then he said, all right, wait 30 seconds, go and do it again. And I went up on the pull-up bar, and I did maybe like 3 or 4. He said, all right, wait 30 seconds, I want you to do it again. And I got up on the pull-up bar, and I did maybe like 1 kipping, you know, getting my damn chin over the bar, barely. And I dropped down, I was all jacked up, and I said, all right, well, what's next? He said, well, what's next is we're not leaving here until you do 100 more. We're not leaving the gym until you do 100 more.
That day?
Now. Like right now.
Right now. So you had done like, 7.
I did like probably 7 or 10, and I was like, man, Goggins, that's impossible. And he said, you know, I already know what your biggest problem is. And he's like, the limitations you're putting on yourself are self-imposed. Get the fuck back on the bar. And, you know,
Jesus
Roger
Christ.
that, man. And I got up on the bar, and I over the course of an hour or 2, I did them. And that started our journey of like, you're about to go in a place where you've never been, motherfucker. You know? And, you know, we went, I remember one day I was sitting on the couch and in Connecticut where I was living at the time, and on the ticker on the TV, the emergency broadcast system came up. Stay inside. Freezing rain. Icy conditions. High winds. Stay inside. It was like beeping. Stay inside. And Goggins was like, this is amazing, man. Let's go for a run. And I'm like, they're telling us the exact opposite, man. They're broadcasting to the whole community to stay inside.
Right.
So we go for a 10-mile run in the blizzard, and we come home, and I lived on a lake, and kids are playing hockey on the lake. So we go down, and he takes his hand, and he moves all the snow off the ice. He gets a boulder, and he breaks the ice, a little hole in the ice with the boulder, and then he takes his hand, and he makes the hole a little bit bigger, and then he jumps in. And then he points at me, and he takes his finger, and he signals for me to jump in. I'm not going in the fucking freezing cold water, because my mother told me as a kid in Long Island, don't go anywhere near the frozen water. If you fall in, you have like a minute, you know?
Right.
He's bathing in it. So, of course, I go in, and he looks at me, he's like, man, you got about 2 to 4 minutes, you're going to get hypothermia. We just went on a run. We got to get you out of the lake. And I go to get out. He goes, you can't get out. He goes, if your skin touches the ice, it's going to stick to the ice like the kid in Christmas Story, his tongue that sticks to the pole, you know? So he puts my shoes back on my hands and picks my ass up and puts I put my socks on or whatever, and I bear crawl out of the ice, and I run up, and I see my wife looking out the window as I'm running into the house, and we come in, and she says to Goggins, you know, like, what's the medical benefit of jumping in a frozen lake? And he said to her, there's no medical benefit. She's like, this is what your husband signed up for. You know, he's like, I want to see how far he's willing to go to get to his goals. And I was like, fuck, this is going to be some 30 days, man. Jesus.
Wow. What was the toughest thing he made you do?
It was just the consistency of it. You know, it was just like, he went everywhere I went. He shadowed me for 30 days. He went to every business meeting. We flew together. He lived, you know, with my wife and I.
Did you think, like, what the fuck did I sign up for?
This is back in 2010. So this is, you know, yes, I did. I was.
And the book came out 2 years ago?
No, yeah, I waited 5 years. I didn't, you know, expect it to ever be a book. It was just like, you know, at all. There was no book being discussed. I kept a little blog about it, you know.
So why'd you do it?
I just felt like there was so much in it. There's so many lessons, and it was funny. Fish out of water, like he's coming into our house. My wife owns Spanx. I mean, like the whole dynamic of this shit was crazy. And I just felt there were a lot of lessons that could be learned through it. And, you know, I just took a shot at it.
Jesus Christ.